What I'm about to reveal might be the most unbelievable thing you'll hear today. But by the end of this video, you'll understand how it all makes sense, and you'll realize it was worth watching until the very end. We're going to talk about one of humanity's most fascinating secrets, why the Jewish people are the most prosperous in the world. This secret has been hidden for over 3,000 years, and now it's time for it to be revealed. I have traveled the world, exploring different cultures, and everywhere I go, the Jewish community is always seen as one of the most successful. Despite being persecuted and forced to start from scratch many times, they have not only survived but thrived. Today, you will discover the secret behind their prosperity. The secret to Jewish wealth doesn't lie only in financial practices, but in a wisdom passed down from generation to generation, far beyond the simple act of making money. This knowledge has allowed millions of people to build a solid foundation of wealth and personal growth. The good news is, you too can apply these principles to your life. If you follow this advice, you can transform how you handle money and perhaps accumulate significant wealth over time. These principles aren't just about money. They involve discipline, family values, and the sharing of wisdom across generations. Let's start with the first lesson. Don't spend more than necessary. How many times do we buy things we don't need? Clothes we never wear, or objects that only serve to fill a temporary void. This habit of spending uncontrollably is a sure path to debt, and it stops us from prospering. We need to learn how to manage this desire to consume and find ways to fill our lives with more balance and fewer debts. Inside each of us, there's a constant conflict between the need for instant gratification and the pursuit of financial health. The key is not letting our impulses dictate our financial decisions. One of the most powerful things you can do is to control your impulses and think twice before making an unnecessary purchase. The next time you feel the urge to buy something expensive, leave the store and reflect on it for a week. This simple act of waiting can be the difference between making a rash decision and saving for something truly important. True wealth isn't just measured by what you have, but by the ability to appreciate what you already possess. If you can master this principle, you'll be much closer to achieving true prosperity. Another important point about Jewish prosperity is the survival mentality. Throughout history, Jews have faced many adversities, but they always saw themselves as survivors, not victims. This mindset has pushed them forward, helping them build new opportunities even after tragedies. Instead of lamenting over losses, they focus on rebuilding their lives and fortunes. This is one of the deepest secrets to prosperity, the ability to rise after any fall. And this principle can be applied by anyone, regardless of their current financial situation. Now let's talk about financial planning. In Jewish tradition, the concept of budgeting is sacred, inspired by scriptures that teach the importance of separating time for work and rest. Similarly, it's essential to learn how to budget to keep finances in order. Creating a financial plan not only protects your future, but can also transform your family's history. This will bring confidence and motivation to face each day with more enthusiasm, knowing that you're building a solid foundation for the future. Waking up every day with this purpose makes all the difference. And to conclude, remember that prosperity is a team effort. Managing finances is not a solo task. Just as God established covenants with figures like Noah and Abraham, you should also establish a financial covenant with your family. This commitment will help ensure that everyone is aligned in the pursuit of a prosperous future. Talk to your family, be honest about your current situation, and discuss your goals for the future. When everyone is on the same page, it's easier to move forward financially, avoiding conflicts and misunderstandings that could arise from money issues. Marriage is not a solo journey either. Many rabbis advise couples to talk openly about money, because financial disharmony is one of the main causes of divorce. When both partners have clear financial goals and work together to achieve them, the chances of success are much higher. Money is a tool that, when used wisely, can open doors, provide choices, and even contribute to humanitarian causes around the world. Saving and accumulating wealth is not just about you, but also about the impact you can make on your life and the lives of others. Charity not only improves the world around us, but also transforms us as individuals. This is the secret behind how the Jewish people built a protection against disasters in partnership with God. Sharing creates space in our lives for more blessings to come. When we start giving, we enter a continuous cycle. We receive, give, and end up receiving even more. Pay attention to what I'm going to say. If you watch this video until the end, there's a good chance that you'll become the first wealthy person in your family because I'm going to teach you some very valuable things. Let me ask you a question. Do you want to be successful in life? Know that success can be learned just like math, chemistry, or biology. In the same way we learn these subjects, we can also learn how to be successful, which is very different from simply achieving success. Being successful is one thing. Achieving success is another. For example, a football player may have a lot of success in sports, but when you look at his personal life, it's a complete mess. He has success in football, but he's not truly successful in life. To be successful, you need to work on several areas: personal, professional, financial, family, social, and friendships. This is the big difference between achieving success and being successful. What are you aiming for? Do you want success in something specific? Or do you want to be successful in all areas of your life? Leave your comment and share your thoughts. If you want to be successful, watch this video until the end because it will provide you with some valuable tips. Returning to our reflection, you might think that in order to be successful, you had to be born into a rich family. But that's not true. The majority of successful people had difficult childhoods. Around 85% of those who consider themselves successful in Brazil came from humble families, meaning they started as employees and faced many challenges. Your past doesn't determine your future. You can start writing a new chapter today. This will make a huge difference in your life because we are the only beings on earth capable of transcending. Transcending means starting over, no matter where you were born or what you've done up until now. Tomorrow, you can open a new chapter and start a new page. However, to do this, some changes are necessary. We need to leave behind limiting beliefs. Many of our actions are based on beliefs that often don't lead us to the desired results. When a belief becomes obsolete, it's time to leave it behind. We don't need to reinvent the wheel, just make it spin faster. Someone has already studied what successful people do differently in various areas of life. Now I want to know, where are you starting from? Without clarity about your starting point, it will be difficult to achieve the success you want. Let's begin by assessing your self-esteem. I'll ask a simple questionnaire with yes or no answers, and we'll analyze 5 areas of your life: health, family, finances, professional life, and friendships. For each of these areas, give yourself a score from 1 to 10. Then, sum these scores and see the result. Let's start with health. We all know people who rarely get sick, right? And we also know those who are always unwell. Assess your health. If you never get sick, give yourself a score of 10. If you're often ill, your score should be lower. Now, do the same for family. Evaluate your family unit: parents, children, siblings, and so on. If you consider your family perfect, your score will be 10. Give an honest score for this area. Next, evaluate your financial situation. If you lost your job today, how long could you maintain your current lifestyle? This is called an emergency fund. If you already have a good emergency fund or enough to live off for a while, your score will be high. Otherwise, it will be lower. Money can be a great servant, but a terrible master. If your money works for you, that's great. If not, you might want to reassess this area. Let's also analyze your professional life. If you won $1 million tomorrow, would you still be doing the same job the next day? If the answer is yes, your score will be high, as this shows you're aligned with your professional activity. But if you're counting the days to retire and leave your job, your score might be lower. Finally, let's evaluate your friendships. I'm not talking about acquaintances, but true friends, those you trust and who would be there for you in difficult times. What's the quality of your friendships? Do you have friends you can truly rely on? Now that you've given scores for health, family, finances, professional life, and friendships, sum them up and multiply by 2. The result will show the potential of your self-esteem. Have you ever stopped to think about how much self-esteem impacts your performance? If you increase your confidence even slightly, the difference in results can be astonishing. A small improvement can lead to significant changes. A clear example of this is a horse race. Often, the horse that wins first place does so by a tiny margin, maybe just by a nose. Even though it's such a small difference, it makes all the difference, earning the horse prizes and recognition. The second place horse, even though it's so close, doesn't receive the same spotlight. This small margin between winning and not winning can be compared to the difference between a poor person and a successful one. Both might wake up at the same time and have similar routines, but what distinguishes the successful individual are small, consistent, and strategic actions. Now, if you feel like you're operating at 60% of your self-esteem, you might ask, how can I improve that? Here we reach an important point. There are 3 essential steps you should follow. The first is developing the ability to visualize not what you don't want, but what you do want. Focusing on what you don't want is like driving while only looking in the rearview mirror. You know where you've been, but you lack clarity about where you're going. Albert Einstein once said that imagination is more important than knowledge. Whenever there's a conflict between knowledge and imagination, imagination wins. Learning to visualize what you desire is crucial. I'll give you an example. Imagine you dream of having a new house. Visualize how many rooms it will have, how the construction will be, the colors of the walls, the type of furniture. The more specific and detailed you are, the easier it will be to turn that dream into reality, because everything in the physical universe is created twice. First in the mind, and then in the real world. Look around you. Choose any object. It could even be the phone you're holding. Before existing physically, it was created in someone's mind. That's why learning to visualize what you want is crucial. Close your eyes and focus on your goals, whether they are in health, career, or any other important aspect of your life. Visualization is the first step, but it's not the only one. There's a constant internal dialogue happening in your mind. Sometimes you agree with these thoughts, and other times you don't. This internal voice might be your own, or the voices of people who influence your life, like your parents. What matters is that this dialogue has a significant impact on your behavior and decisions. When a negative thought arises, say cancel, to neutralize it immediately. Another crucial aspect is your posture. Go to a shopping mall and observe how people walk. Some walk with their heads held high, looking toward the horizon, while others keep their heads down, staring at the ground. If a king or queen were to enter a room, you would notice their majestic presence just by their posture. From an early age, princes and princesses learn to keep their posture straight, as if they were balancing a book on their heads. This posture not only conveys confidence, but also enhances your connection to your self-esteem. To boost your confidence, you need to learn to visualize properly, control your internal dialogue, and cancel negative thoughts. Another important point, we are always imagining something, whether positive or negative. If I tell you not to think about an elephant, your mind will automatically form the image of an elephant. This happens because the word not doesn't have a visual representation. Similarly, if a mother says, "Don't bother your sister," the child will likely keep bothering her because their subconscious doesn't understand the negation. The secret lies in focusing on what you want, not on what you want to avoid. This rule also applies to your internal dialogue. Controlling this dynamic is essential to achieving success. Now, an interesting aspect of life is that we are judged by 3 main factors: our appearance, what we say, and how we say it. When someone asks you a question, the way you respond makes all the difference. Imagine 2 bricklayers working. I ask the first one, "What do you do?" He responds, "I lay bricks." Now, I ask the second bricklayer the same question, and he replies, "I'm building the largest football stadium in the world." See how each has a different vision? Even though both are doing the same job, one has a limited vision while the other has a grand vision. The way you present yourself and speak can change the course of your life. Appearance is also crucial. If you want to play for a football team, you wouldn't show up wearing the jersey of a rival team. Similarly, if you're attending an important meeting, you need to dress appropriately for the occasion. Your appearance communicates a lot about you even before you open your mouth. And when you speak, the words you choose also matter. Once you say something, that information can't be taken back. Just like a launched arrow doesn't return, words have a lasting impact. If you're not sure what to say, it's better to stay silent. Another point is that, in addition to what you say, the tone and manner in which you express yourself have a great influence. 2 people can say the same thing, but the impact can be completely different depending on how they speak. There's a saying that the interpreter is more important than the song. Imagine your favorite song being performed by an artist you don't like. The impact wouldn't be the same, right? Now, think about life as if you were preparing a cake. That cake isn't made of just one ingredient. It needs various components to turn out right. Success works the same way. You need to combine self-esteem, communication, goals, attitude, work, and ambition. When these ingredients are mixed with patience and persistence, success becomes inevitable. Amateurs want immediate results, but professionals understand that the process takes time. A seed doesn't turn into a tree overnight, but with the right care, it will eventually grow and flourish. It's crucial to understand that we are on the right path and to give things time to develop. Many people make the mistake of giving up before they see results, so patience and persistence are essential. Now let's talk about goals. Learning to transform a dream into a goal and then turning that goal into reality is key. How do we do that? A dream becomes a goal when you set a date. Everything you say you'll do someday will likely never happen. That book sitting on your shelf, which you said you'd read someday, remains untouched because someday doesn't exist on the calendar. For things to start happening, you need to set a date. Once you set a deadline, everything changes. Thus, a dream stops being just an idea and becomes a goal, and the universe starts to work in your favor. However, turning a dream into a goal is just the first step. The next is achieving it. The main purpose of a goal is not necessarily to achieve it, but to get you moving. Often, something even more significant comes up along the way. Think about the most important events in your life. You'll notice that many of these things were not planned. For instance, you didn't wake up one day thinking you would meet someone special and end up getting married, or that you would land your dream job, but opportunities arose while you were moving forward. Goals are important because they drive us, but we need to be open to new opportunities that might be even more valuable than what we initially focused on. Flexibility is necessary. Additionally, diversifying your goals is essential. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. If you dedicate all your energy to one objective and something goes wrong, all your efforts might be wasted. For example, if your sole occupation is being a mother, which is one of the noblest roles, there's a risk. Children grow up and lead their own lives, and it's common for mothers who dedicated their whole lives to their children to feel empty when they leave, a phenomenon known as empty nest syndrome. Therefore, it's important to have goals in various areas of life: financial, professional, social, familial, and health-related. There's no point in achieving financial success if your health prevents you from enjoying life. Having leisure goals and diversifying them is crucial. Setting a goal is just the first step, but it's equally important to revisit it frequently. You shouldn't just think about it at the end of the year. You need to remind yourself of it daily. The Japanese have an interesting tradition. They use a doll called Daruma. When they set a goal, they paint the right eye of the Daruma and place it in a visible spot. The doll serves as a constant reminder of the goal, and only when they achieve it do they paint the other eye. You should pursue goals that are truly yours and not those imposed by others. The attitude you adopt in life makes a significant difference in the outcome. Often, we are limited by paradigms, just like a fish that doesn't know it lives in water. Similarly, it's important to realize that sometimes our limitations are merely a reflection of the paradigm we are in. Lastly, stop worrying about what others think of you. What others think is not your problem. It's theirs. Having a positive attitude makes all the difference. When you engage in something, you must believe it will succeed. If you start with negative thoughts, the chances of failure increase. Fully commit to your projects, and your chances of success will be much higher. And remember, the problems we face can be our greatest allies. Often, what initially seems negative can lead us to new opportunities and paths. What defines your future is not what happens, but how you respond to what happens. So, if you have goals, attitude, self-esteem, ambition, and hard work, you are on the right path. We have 24 hours a day. If we dedicate part of it to sleep and work, the rest should be used wisely to achieve our goals and fulfill our dreams. A significant portion of your time will be spent working on something. If you are investing that time in something you don't enjoy, you are wasting a valuable part of your life. It is important to choose something that brings satisfaction. Working on something you love is crucial because people who have this opportunity seek three main elements: personal fulfillment, good compensation, and opportunities for growth. If you are in a company that pays poorly, you will likely not stay there for long. Even if the company offers good pay but lacks fulfillment, you will soon become demotivated. Similarly, if there are no opportunities for advancement, it might be time to look for something better. Ideally, one day you should work for yourself, or better yet, always work for yourself. Even if the company provides your salary and tools, personal development is always yours, and when you leave that company, you will take those improvements with you. Napoleon Hill studied millionaires and found that 85% of them, before reaching their status, worked for other people. However, there was a difference. They acted as if the company was their own. They helped the company grow, managed resources, and saved as if they were running their own business. When they finally started their own companies, they already knew how to be entrepreneurs. On the other hand, most employees do not adopt this mindset. Many think, I'm just an employee here. When I have my own company, then I will put in the effort. But in the meantime, they miss the opportunity to learn how to be business owners. Therefore, remember that you are always working for yourself. Now, let's talk about something crucial: ambition. Have you heard of Kaizen? This Japanese word means continuous improvement. Today, better than yesterday, and tomorrow, better than today. After the devastation of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945, with about 40% of Japan destroyed, the country applied this philosophy. Today, Japan is one of the 5 most developed countries in the world. Imagine going from destruction to being among the top 5. Adopt the Kaizen mindset, always striving for constant improvement. If at any point you think you no longer want anything out of life, it's a sign that something needs to change. We are here to learn. When it is your time to leave, or transcend, or change your cosmic address, 3 questions will be asked of you. The first will be, what have you learned on Earth? Because this world is a school, and we are here to acquire knowledge. The second question will be, how was your time on this planet? Did you leave the world better for those who will come after you? And the final, perhaps most important question, did you contribute more than you cost, or cost more than you contributed? Here's a tip. Every night before you sleep, ask yourself, today, did I contribute more than I cost, or cost more than I contributed? This daily habit of reflection accumulates wisdom over time. Life is a sequence of hellos and goodbyes. To give a new hello, you need to say goodbye to the last goodbye. Your great hello in life happened when you arrived in this world, but you don't remember it. You arrived crying while everyone around you was smiling. I hope that when it is time for you to leave, the opposite happens, that you go smiling because you fulfilled your mission, while those who remain will cry at your departure. You need to learn to work with 6 essential ingredients: self-esteem, communication, goals, work, attitude, and ambition. Additionally, as I mentioned, what separates the professional from the amateur is patience and persistence. Don't focus on your weaknesses, but rather on strengthening your strengths. When your strengths stand out, your weaknesses tend to disappear. For example, what good would it do if I offered you 20,000 euros a month to teach German in Germany if you didn't know how to speak German? Therefore, when you are prepared and the opportunity arises, and it often appears disguised as a problem, people call it luck. But luck is nothing more than the combination of opportunity and preparation. Your luck is built by you. Those who drift, waiting for things to happen, will not see anything come to fruition. This is the big secret. Be prepared when the opportunity arises. If you have watched this video until now, comment, "This is the secret of life." When I see your comment, I will know that you watched the entire video. This will show that you are a persistent and patient person, and you are closer to success than those who stop midway.